So I don't know if you've noticed that when guys are employed, they're very diligent.
They're very diligent.
Very diligent because you're answering to somebody above you. When you're in your own business, it's very, well, you slack off. You're like, I'll do it tomorrow because you're accountable to just yourself. I think it's also very similar when it comes to a chama. So you have an obligation not just to yourself, you have an obligation to the people around you, the people who have chosen to trust you also with their money. So I think it's a very interesting form of accountability. And for us, example, we have a constitution and we also have to abide in that. Yeah, we have to contribute on a monthly and there are things we have to do. So because you're accountable to something higher than yourself, I think that's why it's also a bit easier to do it with a group. Then also, again, you said friends. You're working with friends, you want to see them win, you want to win. Why win if you're not doing it with other people? So creating a community where you can do things together, I think is also very important.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, the late Bob Collymore said, when people come together, great things happen.
Exactly.
Meaning, it's not just the pooling of funds together. It's not just the financial muscle that you create when you come together. You have a think tank, what you said. You know, what does Kate think about this? What does... this thing we are seated here having this conversation, I am sure is because of one of you who thought, you know, what if, you know, or you were given an idea and you said, this is good for us. So I think that's really amazing. Also, the late Dr. Chris Kirubi used to tell me, Pius, the problem with you young people is because everybody is doing something by themselves. But us guys, we used to do things together. When you look at the opportunity he had to buy International House, he didn't have the money. But people came together. He brought people together. And they ended up owning one of the most amazing gems in the city. Yeah. So I think the point we are saying here, you can go much further with people than when you try it alone.
That's true.
So I think we are okay. Chamas or investment groups are a valid way of really creating wealth.
That's true.
I think then the question we need to ask from here, there is very clear reason why we can work together to create multi-generational wealth. How do we create multi-generational wealth when people come together? Because also there will be, the more people come together, you multiply the possibilities of challenges.
That's true. It's very true.
Right? So how do we organize ourselves in such a way that we will not be distracted from the path of creating multi-generational wealth? How have you guys organized yourself? What is it? Are you a company? Are you a SACCO? Are you an investment club? And how does that look like?
That is an interesting question.
Yeah.
In which I would like to pass the mic. I'll pass the mic to you. Okay. Thank you very much.
This is when you need the voice of the chairlady.
Very important.
Kate herself.
Okay, so your question is how we're able to stay on course and stick to the vision as a chama, even with having different things come in place. I think maybe constantly reminding ourselves why we got into the chama, that's our biggest thing. And I think through the meetings, some of the meetings we have, we're constantly reminding ourselves, hey guys, we need to pull our socks. We're supposed to be creating multi-generational wealth. We don't have room to slack off.
Yeah, after you have eaten all the mandazis, drunk all the chais, and
Of course, you have to take care of the tummy first. Then are you able to think? Yeah, so I think we've done that repeatedly, just remembering that we had one goal when we were starting. Now the bit that comes into play is us trying to figure out
how do we get to the final destination? What vehicle would best suit us to be able to get us to the final destination? And I think that's a question now we have for you. When
It's my turn.
it is.
I like how this thing is turning around.
That's a question we have for you.
Yeah.
When you think about Chamas or investment groups, it's a space where, yes, people are bringing their funds together, but how then can this group leverage on using their funds to create a new source of income? There's a bit where we constantly talk about passive income when we're talking about how we can save and we can invest, and that can now then make us a passive income. But then now we want to find out as a Chama how we can be able to do that, how we can be able to leverage and do that while we feel like our current contributions haven't quite gotten us to where we want to be, but then we know where we are at, we can be able to do something with where we are at. So what vehicle would be the best for us to use to be able to create an extra income for ourselves as a Chama other than our monthly contributions?
Wow. That's why you're the chair lady. What is common in most investment clubs or chamas is that the members are employees. You derive your source by offering your services to somebody else. You sell your time in exchange for money. Now, being an employee is a good thing, but it's not sustainable, right? So, because being as an employee, employees survive, but owners create freedom, and I mean freedom to choose and have options. You get it? So the real question is, how do we transition our members from employees to owners? You cannot create multi-generational wealth as an employee. Why? Because we are all talking about our children here. Your children cannot come and inherit your job.
Very correct. Very true. That's true.
They will not come and say, my name is so and so, Kathy is my mom or Kate is my mom, so I now want to inherit her job. They will be chased away.
Yeah. It's an interesting perspective.
Isn't it? Eh? So what is the difference between an employee and an owner? An employee earns a salary, an owner earns dividends. Isn't it? The profits belong to the owner. Isn't it? Eh? And the employee is the first to be paid, the owner is the last to be paid. Isn't it? Eh? So we can pay the employee, and if there is nothing else remaining, the owner can walk away with losses or nothing. Isn't it? Eh? But also, the employee can work with this much. The employee's salary is capped. The owner's dividends are limitless. Yeah. Isn't it? Eh? And that's why the owners can create multi-generational wealth. So the employees have an employment contract, and owners have shares in a company. So then the real question is, how do we get you guys to own shares in a company? Isn't it? Eh? So we need to create our own thing that we own. And that thing is called derari. Now, that derari needs to be, we need to go to the government and form it into a legal entity, meaning it becomes a legal person, a legal entity, means besides us, there is another being that we have created. And this being cannot die.
Yeah.
Which means it can outlive you, it can outlive Andrea, it can outlive the chair lady. Isn't it? So I think the best vehicle to have is a company. Has it been done before? Yes, it has been done before. And a good example we have for ourselves is Transcentury. Transcentury started with a group of people just like you, 29 individuals, who said, everybody contribute $1 million shillings. I think there were more than 29, but only 29 accepted to do this. So they contributed 29 million, and when they had 29 million, they went to the bank and said, we have 29 million, but our ambitions are bigger than 29 million. Can we borrow a loan from you, and then we buy an asset? And they bought a lot of shares in East African Cables. And East African Cables share price started going up so many times that they all this company that was called Transcentury became worth more than several billions. Yeah? And that company now started owning other companies, like Tana Lake in South Africa. There was another one. There is a company they acquired in Tanzania. I think it had something to do with tea, and many other companies. So I think a good vehicle is a company, because a company gives you ownership. Have I answered your question?
Yeah.
That's how you move from employee to employer,
Owner.
to owner.
Yeah, to owner.
And this is so important because all of us left our homes in the morning, isn't it? Some people will go back home today having made 500 shillings. Others will have made 1,000. But there are others who will have made 1 million today. We still worked 8 hours. So what's the difference between these people who earned 500 and the ones who left with 1 million? The ones who earned 500 to 1,000 bob, most likely they sold their time because they are employees. But the ones who earned 1 million, they bought other people's time. They paid people for their time, and they used all that time. Because if I employed the 3 of you, it's 8 hours times 3, isn't it? That's 24 hours. If I use 24 hours to do production, I can live with 1 million, and I pay you a 10% of what I make. I'll pay you 100,000. Me, I'm left with 900,000.
Yeah.
By the way, did you see something? I am not one of you. You worked for me. Me, I might be at the beach or playing golf, but I still made
Your money.
1 million because you worked for me. So the question is, and I think that's what you're saying, as a Chama, as an investment group, a Chama must be a bridge to help you do something bigger that none of you can do for yourself. And that's where now most Chamas get broken. Because you realize this thing is just giving me what I could have done for myself. Then you start having conflict, not because you don't like each other, not because you're not friends, but you're really trying to find, what is this thing contributing to me? Andrea, the problem is, at some point, this thing of contributing 5,000 every month, we get fatigued. Because why am I can see 5,000 leaving my bank account every month, but what is coming back in return? I'm still an employee 10 years from today. Kate, right? We are laying everything bare, isn't it? The good, the ugly, isn't
the
it?
bad and the ugly.
The good, the bad, and the ugly,
Yeah.
isn't it? So we've answered 2 questions now. Question number 1 is having a chama or investment club a good idea? Absolutely yes. Number 2, how is best we organize ourselves and why? We organize ourselves as a company because the idea is to move from being an employee to. But then the third question is, how do we make this dream real?
That's it.
You know, you said this is like therapy. How do we make this dream real?
Yeah.
Because we can say one thing. What is the difference between Transcentury and most chamas that have attempted to be like, these guys contributed $1 million? Isn't it? But if we do 5,000, will we make it?
Eventually.
I know I'm touching nerves.
Eventually in capital letters.
Eventually.
In capital
Eventually.
letters. But
Fine. But fine. But who will say we have now grown from contributing 5,000 to 10,000, from 10,000 to $500,000? Who will say that? Andrea, you're really
Focus. Okay.
so
Yeah.
how do we make it real, isn't it?
yeah.
But I think before we even get to that, is how do we cement this notion that this is where we want to be? Because if this goal or this picture of success is not painted somewhere where we all have the same reference point, some people will be very comfortable contributing 5,000 for the next 20 years.
True.
Because now it is not disturbing me, isn't it? Some people will be very unhappy because this 5,000 does not make sense 10 years from today. And I am still an employee, isn't it? How do we have this picture of success very, very early so that it's not lost? Yeah. It's Jim Rohn who said, people don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. So back to Denerari, do we have that picture of success? I know you said it's multi-generational wealth,
Yeah.
but it's still out there.
Yeah, that's true.
It's still out there, isn't it? It is a different picture for her, it's a different picture for you, isn't it? What is that thing? Is it the day we'll become $1 billion, we'll have $1 billion shillings to our name? Is it the day it will be 100 million to our name? Is it the day it will be 50 million to our name? Then we have this thing, we are going for this goal. I know the chair lady is about to turn that question back to me. I think that's where you need a financial advisor. And why I'm dwelling on this point is because this silent point is what has eluded so many investment groups. Because most investment groups, they are good at putting their money together, but they are not good at managing money or deploying the money. It's like people are buying a plot of land, they buy a plot of land. People are investing in money market funds. Let's put money in money. Sorry, I'm not.
No, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. We were ready.
We were ready.
Yes.
People are putting money in money market funds, and they put money in money market funds.
Yeah.
But everybody is on remote mode, and we are comfortable as employees. So we will forever be employees. So I think this is where we need to bring in an investment advisor, where we sit down. You know, like where we're having this conversation now. Like, okay, fine. what is our goal? Tangible goal. What is that breaking point? When we get to this point, we can all break away from employment.
Okay. It's a new perspective.
It is.
Right? And that is where now the financial advisor will come and will talk to, we'll sit together, maybe have a workshop, sit down, talk, put all our dreams on the board, and then we say, what is that one thing that if we achieve this thing, we achieve all the other things, isn't it? Say, okay, if this is the goal, then let's work backwards. The financial advisor now will work backwards and put it pen and paper. We say, today, as Denari investment group, we have 1 million shillings to our name. But what we really need is 50 million. Okay? How do we move from 1 million to 50 million? What is our ability to contribute? So the financial advisor will say, if our goal is to be there in 5 years, you say, every month we must contribute 100,000 or 50,000. Then we come back and we say, guys, forget the 5,000 you are contributing. What we really need is 50,000 a month. We are 5 of us. So can we contribute 10,000 each? Isn't it? Can we contribute 10,000 each so that we make it 50? And now our journey to 50 million is a real journey, not some aspirational dream with no clear plan. Are you seeing the picture I'm painting?
Yes.